Alright, well, here with the Saturn Vue 3.5 liter, adjusting the valves. Okay, I already did this front section. I put the new spark plugs in and stuff. See, resealed the valve cover back up, tighten it down. Figured I'd show you after I went ahead and had a nice experience with the front head. I figured I'd record the back head for you guys. Now let me just explain a few things about this valve adjustment. If you're a master valve adjuster, you're probably not looking at this video anyway, so just a little information about this vehicle. Apparently, number one, these valves can tighten up. Actually, instead of getting more loose, they actually will tighten up. So I noticed when I first started by spinning, normally you can spin the motor, you can normally see a cam, see if it's in its relaxed position, on the short side of the cam. You can normally see the cam, see that it's there, but this cam you cannot. You cannot look in there and see what position the cam's at. So instead of turning the crank to top dead center or bottom dead center and then selecting the valves that should be loose, I don't think you should do that with this motor, because they'll tighten up, so you might not even be able to tell if it's loose. It might be so tight that there's not even any clearance in there, which I found on some of the exhaust valves. On the first head I did, I found that some of the valves were already too tight, so I couldn't tell what position the cam was. The only way I can really figure that you can get these rocker arms in the proper position for valve adjustment is to spin the motor, watch the rocker arm go down, and then watch it come up. When it comes up to its fully stopped position, you go ahead and adjust the valve. So I'm just going to show you on this one intake valve here on this cylinder. I guess that's cylinder number 5. I watched a video, another video that a guy has doing these Saturn Vue engine, and he said he's on cylinder 2 and he goes to this center cylinder. I really don't. I looked up the firing order for this vehicle, and supposedly it's 1, 3, 5, and then the front you've got 2, 4, 6. So I don't know about that video where he said he was adjusting it number cylinder 2 or whatever, and this is cylinder 3 according to everything that I have researched. So let me show you what I mean. Now also, when you do, every single valve that you adjust is going to be the same. You want to watch the front, you want to watch the arm go down and then come up and stay in the up position. I'll show you what I mean. But when you do the back exhaust valve, do the same thing. Just spin the crank, watch the rocker arm come up, or I'm sorry, watch it go down, and then when it comes up and stays in that position, you're there. So you just want to go around and do that all the way around with these. So now I'm going to set this camera somewhere so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's check and see if we got it. No, that's not good enough. I want this camera right where you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Maybe I need to stop and reposition this camera. I don't know. Yeah, so we're gonna have to have a. I'll tell you what. Here we go again. Hold the camera and spin the crank for you, I guess.
They gave me 0.3 over, so you guys can stop by and I'll give you that. Really? Half a gram short. Give me a gram. You're giving me half a gram.
Hold on, let me get my tripod.
There's no way that the dispensary weighed it wrong.
Yeah, fuck that dude.
Besides when the drawing said you weighed the joints wrong. It says that the drawing.
I'm sorry, I'm sitting on my tripod right at the minute. Oops. I want you guys to be able to see this rocker arm. Be able to see it go up and then come down.
by, oh shit, where you get him at?
Alright. I think you can see it now. Let's get to turning. Watch that rocker arm. You're going to see it go down because I'm going to make it go down by I'm spinning the engine right now. You know, slowly with a ratchet, half-inch ratchet. I'll watch that thing go down. Alright, it's going down. See it going down? Boom, going down. See it come, just popped up a little bit. Still coming up. Still coming up. Still coming up. Still coming up. And as you can see, it has stopped coming up. I'm still turning just a little bit. It's stopped coming up. So when it stops coming up, just stop. Go ahead and adjust the valve. Okay? For your intake manifold, you're going to want to use a .008 and that's inches, .008. That's this one here, and I don't know if you can see the .008 on there because she's nice and rusted, but that's a .008 there, and you're going to want to be able to stick it underneath of that rocker arm. You know, as you can see, it's loose, so you can grab the rocker arm, lift it up and down, feel that it's in the loose position, but gosh, this thing does not have the clearance that it should. It just doesn't, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to loosen that up. I just turned that motor just a little more so that we can see if it would. And now this valve here just, well, that's 12 thousandths. I'm sorry. There's my 8 thousandths because I'm going with the 12 thousandths on the exhaust side. Okay. It actually does. I turned it. See, if you check it and it doesn't have the proper clearance, turn that crank just a hair further. Maybe I'm talking another 5 degrees to 10 degrees to see, because they should have the clearance. Some of them don't. See, but this one's actually too loose. It needs to be tightened up. So to tighten them, you take your 10mm wrench. Loosen that. No, don't touch it.
It went off. That's why I was going to touch it. Oh no, it didn't.
No.
It just went black. Because your hand was on the way.
Yeah, my hands are right. Yeah, all right. So loosen that nut there. Loosen that nut there. Okay. This right here on top is where your adjustment is. Alright, since I've done them all, I just go ahead and loosen them up so I can shove that wrench under there. Yeah, or wrench, just shove that feeler gauge under there. You see how it goes in there just nice since I loosened it up? And then I take the screwdriver and just tighten it. You don't tighten it, you just turn it. Just turn it back down until it tightens up. And then, you know, can you move your, see how I'm moving? I don't know if you can see that, but I'm moving it around the feeler gauge. Tighten it down a little more. I'm not tightening it, I'm just turning a little bit. And that's a little tight. We're gonna turn it back just a hair. Right there. And that's that. I can still move it, but it's pretty tight. Turn it down just a hair more. I can still move the feeler back and forth, but not a ton. Now you take the nut, turn that down. I leave the feeler gauge under there. I don't know, it makes me feel better. I tighten it down, and I make sure I can still move it. Yes, I can. Is there an excessive amount? No, that valve is now properly adjusted. I mean, you can try to tighten that up a little more. And there's 2 valves for every, actually 4 valves for every cylinder, so you get to do this 4 times per cylinder. Anyway, here we go again. Got the feeler gauge under there. just get it so she tightens down. I can still move the gauge around. See that? So it's tight. Secure your nut. Tighten it down. And that's it. See, I can still move the feeler gauge. Still pull it out. And that's that. Those two valves have been adjusted. I guess that's the number 5 cylinder intake, 2 intake valves. They've been adjusted. Now I'm going to do the rest. Do the same thing. Pull this camera out of here. We're going to do the same thing, you know, to this valve, to this valve. And then we'll go on the back and do the exhaust valves. We're going to watch them go up or go down, come up, measure the gap, and then set them. When you're done, you put your valve cover back on, put your intake back on, and start it up. And I'll go ahead, once I adjust these, I'll put it all back together, go ahead and shoot the video one more time, and with it running, and you guys can hear it run with some adjusted valves. Alright, so I'll see you then.